The United States has long enjoyed a monopoly on global strike capabilities thanks to its two nuclear-capable stealth bomber fleets, the B-52 Stratofortress and the B-2 Spirit. However, that monopoly is about to end. China's next-generation strategic bomber, the Xian H-20, will soon enter service, marking a giant leap in Chinese military aviation, and fundamentally altering the strategic balance of power in Asia and beyond. This is the story of China's most secretive weapon program. It all started in the early 2000s when America made the B-21 Raider, their next-generation bomber program, public. They didn't want anyone else beating them to the punch, and that's when China got to work. A secretive program was initiated under the leadership of the Secretive Aviation Industry Corporation of China, or AVIC. Initial designs were submitted in 2009, and after years of refinement and testing, the H-20 finally made its first public appearance in 2016 at the Zhuhai Air Show. But what makes the H-20 so special? Why should you care about this hulking flying wing sitting in a hangar in China? And how will it change the world order once deployed? First off, the range. While America's bombers can only reach out about 4,000 miles from their bases in the U.S. or Guam, the H-20 will be able to fly over 500 kilometers on a single mission, placing virtually every country in the world within its striking distance. For perspective, that means the H-20 could theoretically fly from Beijing and hit targets in Alaska, or from Shanghai and hit targets in New York. Speaking of hitting targets, the H-20's payload is also formidable. While we don't know the exact figures, reports indicate that it'll be able to carry 10 tons or more of both nuclear and conventional weapons, including hypersonic missiles with conventional warheads. Now remember that the H-20 is designed to penetrate heavily defended airspace, meaning it could potentially strike targets deep inside enemy territory. What's more, it would appear on enemy radars only moments before crossing their borders, leaving almost no time for a response. Which brings us to the H-20's stealth capabilities. Like the American B-2 Spirit, the H-20 is designed with a flying wing configuration that removes virtually all of its external hardpoints, reducing its radar signature to a bare minimum. But unlike the B-2 Spirit, the H-20 will reportedly have radar-absorbing coatings, making it even more difficult to detect. In fact, according to some estimates, the H-20 will be able to remain undetected even by the most advanced American radars operating today. So where does all of this leave the United States? Well, with the deployment of the H-20, China will join the exclusive club of countries with nuclear triad capabilities, meaning that it'll have the ability to launch nuclear strikes from land, air, and sea. And not just against the United States either, but anywhere in the world. This development will dramatically shift the balance of power in East Asia, allowing China to project power well beyond its borders and potentially challenge U.S. dominance in the Pacific for the first time since World War II. In fact, some experts believe that the H-20 could even serve as a platform for unconventional missions like anti-satellite warfare, which would allow China to threaten American space assets in orbit around the Earth. All of this is still speculation, however. The truth is that very little is known about the H-20 other than what we've been allowed to see in official press releases and sanctioned appearances at domestic air shows. And those appearances have been few and far between. We know that the H-20 is being developed by Xian Aircraft Industrial Corporation, one of China's leading defense contractors, and that it'll be produced at the Xian Aircraft Corporation's factory in Shanxi Province. But we don't know much beyond that. There have been rumors that the H-20 entered service in 2019, but those claims have not been verified. What we do know is that it's undergoing final tests as we speak, and that it'll likely begin operating in the next year or two. At that point, the United States will have two new strategic rivals prowling the skies, one with an arsenal of thermonuclear warheads and the other with a growing fleet of increasingly capable bombers. As such, the U.S. must continue investing in its own bomber fleet to maintain its technological edge. Otherwise, it risks losing its monopoly on global strike capabilities, not to mention face control of the Western Pacific to rival China. This is the host with this channel. And if you want to see more videos like this one, please stay tuned.